Amy and Tammy's recent conflict, a significant property dispute. Amy Slayton and her sister Tammy, stars of 1,000 Pound Sisters, are embroiled in a significant conflict. Amy's husband, Brian Lovvorn, recently pressured her to transfer all her assets to his name, but Amy categorically declined his proposal. Amy stated unequivocally, "I cannot perpetrate this atrocious act. Ultimately, Tammy is my sister. I would never engage in any action that could jeopardize my family." Regrettably, Tammy eavesdropped on the conversation and informed the rest of the family about the entire matter. This engendered new strain among the family. A multitude of individuals harbor resentment towards Amy and her spouse. Numerous family members feel that Brian's true motive was to appropriate Amy's assets. This episode has left Amy emotionally heartbroken, significantly straining her relationship with Tammy. The concern is whether the relationship between these two brothers will revert to its previous state. Will this property disagreement be the catalyst for their irrevocable separation? Amy Slayton had never envisioned that her life would undergo such a grim transformation, neither with her sister nor with her family. For years, she and Tammy had endured many adversities, emotional, physical, and financial. However, on this occasion, the tempest was dismantling everything. The events commenced one tranquil evening in their residence in Kentucky. Amy's spouse, Brian Lovvorn, had exhibited peculiar behavior for weeks, allocating excessive time to phone conversations, conversing in hushed tones, and displaying agitation when money issues arose. Amy, fatigued from managing two young children, filming obligations, and maintaining familial harmony, attempted to disregard the escalating tension. However, Brian was resolute in his determination. "Amy," he stated one evening, pacing the living room, "we must safeguard what belongs to us. All assets, including the property and money, should be transferred to my name, as a precautionary measure." Nevertheless, 1,000 LB Sisters, will Amy Slayton undergo skin removal surgery? Numerous stars from 1,000 Pound Sisters have lately undergone skin removal surgery, prompting speculation that Amy Slayton may be the next to have the procedure. Amy, initially weighing 406 pounds during her television debut, reduced sufficient weight to be eligible for bariatric surgery. By 2024, her weight would be 276 pounds. Recent reports suggest she is expecting skin removal surgery, as referenced in a March 2025 promo for 1,000 Pound Sisters Season 7, when she conversed about it with her physician. Nonetheless, no verification of the treatment has emerged, in contrast to her sister Tammy Slayton and brother Chris Combs, who both underwent skin removal surgeries in 2025. Following a weight reduction of 500 pounds, Tammy underwent surgical removal of superfluous skin from her neck, belly, and arms, while Chris also received the surgery after his weight loss. They have both posted images of their remarkable outcomes on social media. Amy's advancement has allegedly stagnated, with several sources indicating she may have regained weight, which could complicate her eligibility. Her imprisonment in 2024 and personal difficulties, including a divorce, may have redirected her attention. Fans conjecture jealousy regarding Tammy's metamorphosis, although Amy's intentions remain unverified. The star of 1,000 Pound Sisters season May 7th seek surgery if she fulfills the medical requirements. Despite Amy's initial rapid weight loss, the 1,000 Pound Sisters star has apparently regained some weight following her notable weight loss struggle. Amy commenced at 406 pounds in 2020, dropped sufficient weight to qualify for bariatric surgery in 2019, and ultimately attained approximately 237 pounds by 2024. Recent episodes of 1,000 Pound Sisters Season 7 indicate that she may have recovered weight, with estimations suggesting she weighs approximately 260 pounds. Her brother Chris Combs remarked in a confessional that Amy seems significantly larger than him, eliciting anxiety from viewers. Amy's personal difficulties, such as her 2023 divorce from Michael Halterman, the responsibility of raising two sons, and a 2024 arrest for drug possession and child endangerment, may have impeded her commitment to fitness. Amy acknowledged in 2023 that she prioritized mental wellness above weight loss. "Weight loss is unattainable without mental health," she stated during an episode of 1,000-Pound Sisters. Although she voiced optimism for skin removal surgery in 2025, her physician mandated a further weight reduction of 30 pounds, signifying a setback. Notwithstanding these obstacles, Amy's fortitude and transparency persist in motivating her admirers, who aspire for her to realign with her health objectives. Following the birth of her sons, Amy and their father, Michael, declared their divorce in 2022 after 4 years of matrimony. She promptly resumed dating, although encountered limited success. Following numerous unsuccessful romantic endeavors, the star of 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 7 appears to have encountered a significant individual. She is in a relationship with Brian Lovvorn and appears content. In a recent episode, Brian knelt at a pop-up Halloween haunted house and proposed to Amy, who accepted. They want to wed at a scary, antiquated asylum for the insane, notwithstanding the disapproval of the other Slaytons. This is the most exceptional journey I have ever chosen to undertake and persist with. Despite Amy's numerous accomplishments, she has recently encountered some misfortune. In an episode of 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 7, Amy and Brian transported her sons to a safari park located in Tennessee. Amy was bitten by a camel while feeding zoo animals through the car window. Upon the police's arrival at the site, they discovered marijuana in Brian's vehicle. Amy asserts possession of a medicinal marijuana prescription in Kentucky. Nevertheless, she was in Tennessee, where her card offers no legal protection. Amy and Brian were both apprehended. Upon his broadcast debut in 2020, Chris's weight exceeded 450 pounds. His quality of life was suboptimal, and he wanted to avoid dying from obesity as his father did. In 2022, Chris became eligible for bariatric surgery and promptly shed 150 pounds. He reduced his weight from 450 pounds to 300 pounds, and during Season 6 of 1,000-Pound Sisters, Chris underwent skin removal surgery. While recuperating in his hospital bed post-surgery, Chris remarked, "This is the most rewarding journey I have ever chosen to undertake and persist with." Chris was not the sole member of the Slayton family to have skin removal surgery recently. Tammy Slayton, who reached a weight of 725 pounds at her peak, underwent bariatric surgery in 2022 and subsequently shed an astounding 500 pounds. Rapid weight loss has had significant consequences. She possessed an excess of loose skin between her legs, resulting in a bow-legged stance and difficulty maintaining balance while walking. Tammy desired skin removal surgery. However, she encountered several obstacles. At various times, she was considered ineligible because of her vaping habit and protein consumption. Tammy's surgical procedure received approval in the 7th season of 1,000-Pound Sisters. "Tammy, you have undergone your operation. Your expression reveals it. You appear exquisite." Tammy underwent skin removal surgery in Season 7 of 1,000-Pound Sisters and recently shared a preview of her remarkable results on TikTok. The excisional surgery on her facial and chin regions has altered Tammy's appearance significantly. Astounded by her slender visage, admirers inundated the comment area with remarks such as, "Tammy, you underwent surgery. Your expression reveals it. You appear exquisite." The post employed filters to depict Tammy's visage styled over many decades, highlighting her firm skin. The post highlighted both her smaller visage and Tammy's burgeoning self-assurance. Nevertheless, 1,000-LB Sisters view remarkable images of Tammy Slayton before and after her extraordinary weight loss transformation. Tammy Slayton, a star of 1,000-LB Sisters, recently undergone a transformational skin removal surgery and cosmetic operation, signifying a notable milestone in her remarkable weight loss quest. Following bariatric surgery that enabled Tammy to lose 500 pounds, she has been contending with extra skin, which has affected her confidence and mobility. The 8-hour operation excised nearly 15 pounds of dermal tissue from her arms, abdomen, and neck. In the Season 7 conclusion of the unscripted series, Tammy disclosed her remarkable change. She conveyed ambivalent emotions of astonishment and elation, observing the lack of her bat wings and the drooping skin on her face. Following her skin removal operation, Tammy has been posting images of the procedure and its outcomes on social media. Along with the excision of excess skin between her legs, the 1,000-pound Sisters Season 7 star underwent a significant facelift. Tammy's jowls and surplus flesh around her neck have been eliminated. The reality television personality is entirely transformed, and the contrasts with her previous physique are striking. Tammy's life has experienced a total metamorphosis, and her advancement has been quite remarkable. Upon the release of 1,000-pound Sisters in 2020, Tammy was deemed excessively overweight for bariatric surgery. Her physicians declined to conduct the operation unless she lost some weight independently. Rather than diligently concentrating on her health and fitness objectives, she acted recklessly. She frequently engaged in social festivities and declined to adhere to a dietary regimen. She gained nearly 100 additional pounds. Several seasons into the series, Tammy's weight reached an astonishing 725 pounds. She relinquished hope for herself, as did her family and medical professionals. A health problem that necessitated Tammy's hospitalization ultimately preserved her life. Medical professionals placed Tammy in a pharmacologically induced coma. Upon awakening a week later, she realized her life was at stake. She admitted herself to a weight loss rehabilitation center, addressed her chronic food addiction, and underwent bariatric surgery. Tammy has shed 500 pounds and is dedicated to improving her diet. Tammy gives dietary advice with her social media followers. Tammy's surplus skin, especially around her face, neck, and body, served as a persistent reminder of her previous challenges. It resulted in practical complications, including impaired ambulation due to skin between her legs causing a bow-legged posture and disrupting her balance. The surplus skin exacerbated insecurities. Tammy desired skin removal surgery. However, she encountered several obstacles. She was considered ineligible for skin removal surgery in 2023 at various times due to her recent bariatric surgery, and thereafter encountered delays attributed to her vaping habit. Tammy ultimately underwent surgery in Season 7 of 1,000-pound Sisters. Tammy appears transformed in her post-surgery photographs, and she ought to be elated with her remarkable outcomes. Tammy recently shared a preview of her remarkable achievements on TikTok. The excisional surgery has altered her appearance. The post employed filters to depict Tammy's visage stylized over many decades, highlighting her sleek skin. The post highlighted both her thinner visage and Tammy's burgeoning confidence. Tammy is not the sole individual disseminating images of her remarkable outcomes following skin removal surgery. An Instagram fan account named 90 Day Fiance Update recently shared comparative before and after photographs. "Although this is not 90 Day, I am engaged with this show," stated the post's caption. The post displays juxtaposed photos of Tammy's profile prior to and subsequent to the jowl reduction surgery. Tammy appears transformed in her post-surgery photographs, and she ought to be elated with her remarkable outcomes. Nonetheless, Amy stared at him, astonished. "What is the subject of your discussion?" "I am referring to your family," Brian insisted. "Tammy is becoming increasingly unstable. What if she pursues your assets? What if she instigates conflict once more?" Amy's voice trembled with emotion. "No, I will not undertake it. I am unable to perform this abhorrent act. Tammy is, after all, my sister. I would never engage in any actions that could jeopardize my family." Unbeknownst to them, Tammy was positioned just outside the room, eavesdropping on every word. Tammy, now recuperating from her recent health crisis, entered their mother's residence where the majority of the family had assembled. "Are you all aware of Brian's intentions? He desires Amy to provide him with all that she possesses. Her residence, her financial reserves, our familial abode." A jolt of astonishment coursed through the room. The family had consistently been distrustful of Brian, but this allegation intensified their pre-existing concerns. Upon Amy's entrance, all gazes were directed towards her. "Is it accurate?" her brother, Chris, inquired. "Is Brian attempting to acquire everything?" Amy, inundated, attempted to elucidate. "He inquired of me. I declined. I would never engage in that action. I stated that I would never harm Tammy or the family. However, the harm was inflicted. Tammy's eyes were imbued with anguish. "You failed to inform me. You intended to allow him to attempt." Amy's voice faltered. "Tammy, I hold deep affection for you. However, circumstances have been challenging. Brian has been exerting pressure on me, but I declined. I solemnly swear. The trust has been irrevocably compromised." Days transformed into weeks. Tammy ceased responding to Amy's calls. The family divided into factions, some attributing blame to Brian for manipulating Amy, while others contended that Amy must accept responsibility for permitting the situation to escalate. Amy commenced therapy discreetly. She wept throughout almost every session, conflicted between her marriage and her enduring connection with her sister. She recognized the necessity of establishing boundaries, with Brian, with all individuals, but it seemed unattainable. Tammy was also in pain. She disclosed to a trusted friend, "Amy was the one individual I believed I could always rely on. I am uncertain whether we still share the same sisterly bond as before." One afternoon, Amy arrived unexpectedly at Tammy's rehabilitation center, devoid of a camera team or theatrics, merely 2 coffees and a faded family photograph from their childhood. She remained silent outside Tammy's room till Tammy eventually opened the door. Amy murmured, "I erred. Not due to my attempt to offer him anything, but because I failed to consult you beforehand." Tammy gazed at the photograph. They stood in filthy dungarees, smiling in front of the porch of their dilapidated house. Following an extended stillness, Tammy gestured towards the vacant chair. "Please take a seat." It was not forgiveness, at least not at this moment. Nonetheless, it held significance. Nevertheless, as the sun barely illuminated Heathrow Airport, 2 recognizable figures from American reality television, Amy Slayton and her sister Tammy, made their notable entrance. For the first occasion, the stars of 1,000-pound sisters departed the United States for an international expedition, with their destination being the illustrious city of London, England. "I can hardly believe we are truly here," Amy remarked, gazing at the iconic red double-decker buses and the overcast British sky. Tammy, adorned in big sunglasses and a Union Jack hoodie, remained largely silent. Yet, her eyes sparkled as the chauffeur opened the door of their private van. The sisters were slated to appear on a special episode of the British talk show, Morning Moments with Meghan. However, they desired an authentic British experience beforehand. Their guide escorted them to a classic tea restaurant in Kensington. Amy was captivated by the miniature sandwiches and ornate teacups. "These sandwiches are approximately the size of my pinky toe," she jested. Tammy, conversely, was unimpressed. "Where is the gravy?" she inquired, prodding a scone with suspicion. Upon the waiter's clarification that tea in London constituted a light afternoon repast rather than a substantial supper, Tammy said in astonishment, "So, this is not dinner?" News circulated on social media. The Slayton sisters were present in the area. Their admirers congregated in large numbers outside their hotel, chanting, "Amy and Tammy. Rule Britannia." A royal insider suggested that Camilla, Queen Consort, had viewed several episodes and was curiously interested in meeting the sisters. This resulted in a comical misunderstanding in which Tammy, believing she was to meet the Queen, executed a curtsy that nearly toppled a gorgeous vase in the gift shop of Buckingham Palace. Amy cautioned, "Do not bow excessively low, Tammy. You will be unable to rise again." The sisters included a visit to Big Ben and the London Eye on their tourism itinerary. However, during the Thames River trip, tensions escalated. Tammy declined to don the mandated life jacket. "I will not wear that item," she stated. "It renders me resembling an inflated lobster." Amy exhaled audibly. "Tammy, we are currently participating in a reality show. Everyone has previously witnessed worse." Ultimately, Tammy acquiesced, and the sisters experienced a rare, poignant moment while observing the sunset over Tower Bridge. Amy remarked gently, "I am pleased we arrived here together, regardless of whether you expressed dissatisfaction throughout." Tammy expressed her disdain by rolling her eyes. "Indifferent. Please refrain from making me consume another cucumber sandwich." On their last day in London, the sisters astonished all by appearing on the talk show attired in coordinating royal blue outfits, custom crafted by a British plus-size fashion label. Amy became emotional during the interview. "My presence here has illuminated the vast world that exists beyond. We need not remain confined to Kentucky indefinitely." Tammy acquiesced, marking an uncommon instance of tranquility. London is not so unfavorable, provided they have munchies. Upon boarding their trip home, fans waved Union Jack flags and displayed posters inscribed with "Long live the Slayton sisters." Amy said to Tammy, "Next time, Paris?" Tammy responded with a smirk, "Only if they have cheeseburgers." Nevertheless, the Saturday morning in Dixon, Kentucky, was radiant. The birds chirped languidly in the trees, the neighborhood was tranquil, but within Tammy Slayton's head, a tempest was forming. After months of cohabitation with relatives and enduring incessant disputes, she ultimately reached a conclusion that astonished all. Tammy was out on a house-hunting expedition. "I refuse to live by others' regulations," Tammy asserted, readjusting her sunglasses as she rolled onto the driveway. It is time for Tammy to possess her own realm. Amy's younger sister appeared astonished. "Are you purchasing a residence?" "From what point in time?" Tammy snapped, "Since Brian's pit bull urinated on my Crocs. I am fed up. I desire tranquility. I desire seclusion. I desire a walk-in freezer." Amy arched an eyebrow. "A refrigeration unit?" Tammy smiled broadly. "Intended for consumption as snacks." Tammy, accompanied by her home care aide Cheryl and local real estate agent Brett, commenced house tours that afternoon. The initial property was a quaint two-bedroom residence, including a wraparound porch. "I appreciate this porch," Tammy affirmed. "An excellent location to vociferate at squirrels." However, the interior disheartened her. Excessive stairs. Excessive beige walls. "I perceive myself as being within a melancholic potato." Brett laughed apprehensively. "Proceed to the subsequent one." The second residence was larger, featuring a backyard, an in-ground swimming pool, and an expansive kitchen. Tammy's eyes illuminated. "This is precisely what I am referring to." As she started to envision pool parties and nocturnal munching under the moonlight, Amy unexpectedly arrived, pulling the children along with her. "Tammy, you cannot proceed to purchase a house without consulting me first." Tammy expressed her disdain by rolling her eyes. "Amy, I am not an infant. I require no authorization. Moreover, I have selected my room in your residence on 5 occasions, yet have still been relegated to the couch." Amy exhaled audibly. "I am merely concerned for your well-being. What occurs if you descend? What should you do if assistance is required?" Tammy became more gentle. "Consequently, I am acquiring a residence equipped with ramps and a medical alert system. I must mature. You stated that yourself." Subsequently, that evening, the news reached the remainder of the Slayton family. Chris, their brother, convened an urgent family meeting in Grandma's backyard. Chris forcefully placed his drink on the table. "Tammy, you do not even manage your own laundry. How do you intend to acquire a house?" Tammy retorted, "Perhaps if you ceased coddling me, I would have acquired the knowledge sooner." Amanda, the pragmatic sister, supported Tammy. "Allow her to live, everyone. She is not an infant. Indeed, she possesses greater strength than the majority of individuals I am acquainted with." Silence descended. All eyes were on Tammy. "I no longer wish to be a burden," Tammy stated. "I desire autonomy. I seek to demonstrate to myself that I am capable of achieving this." 2 weeks later, Tammy finalized the purchase of a charming one-story residence located about 5 minutes from Amy's home. It had bespoke ramps, an expansive refrigerator, a sunroom, and a walk-in freezer. On the inaugural night in her new residence, she perched on the porch, imbibing sweet tea. The experience of freedom was pleasurable. Amy visited with the children and presented a housewarming gift, a neon sign inscribed with "Tammy's World." Tammy emitted laughter. "Greetings to the realm, everyone." A new chapter commenced, characterized by laughing, late-night phone conversations, pizza deliveries, and the gradual progression towards independence. Nevertheless, Amy Slayton and Tammy Slayton, prominent figures on the acclaimed TLC series 1,000-Pound Sisters, have largely endured a continuous cycle of food addiction, health challenges, and emotional distress throughout their lives. After years of unsuccessful diets, hospitalizations, and familial turmoil, the sisters forged a pact on New Year's Eve. This would be the year of transformation. Amy, a mother of two, recognized that her health was beginning to impact her capacity to care for her children. Simultaneously, Tammy, following a harrowing near-fatal incident at a rehabilitation center, recognized that she would not endure another year without significant transformation. The sisters, tearful, gazed at one another and declared in unison, "Let us unite in battle." And they engaged in combat. They employed a new trainer, Marcus Grant, a rigorous yet empathetic former Marine who had already shed 150 pounds. Marcus relocated to Kentucky for 6 months to be with them, revolutionizing their lives via each workout and meal. The commencement was challenging. Tammy experienced an intense panic episode during her initial effort to walk beyond 50 feet. Amy grappled with emotional eating when her husband, Brian, temporarily relocated to provide her with space to concentrate. The pivotal moment occurred during their inaugural public weigh-in, broadcast live on TLC's social media platforms. Amidst a large audience, Tammy shed 42 pounds in 1 month, her greatest weight loss to yet. Amy trailed closely with a 36-pound decrease. The online audience surged with excitement. Remarks such as, "This episode is the pinnacle of the entire series." They achieved viral status. For the first time, they experienced a sense of validation. The path forward was arduous, both in a physical and symbolic sense. Tammy underwent dermatological surgery to excise 40 pounds of surplus skin following her achievement of a 200-pound weight loss milestone. Amy commenced running, not walking but running, subsequent to shedding over 150 pounds. They launched a podcast, Heavy Hearts, Light Lives, to motivate others via their narrative. Individuals who had derided them were now extolling their efforts. Even Dr. Proctor, their long-standing bariatric physician, became sentimental during a consultation. "I have never witnessed such a transformation in my entire career," he stated, his voice trembling. "You did not merely alter your lives. You have rescued them." 1 year following the commencement of their adventure, TLC broadcast a live conclusion from Nashville entitled Slayton Strong, the final weigh-in. Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Mina, and I hope your day is going exceptionally well. If you like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.